Have you ever walked into a room in your own home and just felt off, like the space was working against you somehow? You can't always explain it. Nothing is technically wrong, but you feel drained, distracted, or just kind of stuck. A lot of the time, the culprit is color, not in an obvious way, more like a slow background hum that you tune out, but your brain never actually stops processing. Welcome back to Master Chen Feng Shui. I'm glad you're here today, because this is one of those topics that sounds simple on the surface, colors and wealth, but once you dig into it, there's a lot of practical, real-life value that most people completely miss. We're going room by room today, and I'm going to be specific. Not vague advice like use green for money. Actual guidance you can apply this week. Before we get into specific rooms, I want to set up the right frame for thinking about this, because Feng Shui color work isn't about painting one wall gold and waiting for a check to arrive. That's not how this works, and I'd rather be straight with you than oversell it. What color does, and what Feng Shui has understood for a long time, and what psychology is now confirming, is shape your internal state. Your mood, your energy, your level of mental clarity, how comfortable you feel spending time in a space. And those internal states are what produce financial outcomes over time. If your home is set up in a way that quietly drains your focus, disrupts your sleep, or puts you in a low-energy state every day, that has real consequences for how you show up professionally, how you make decisions, and honestly, just how motivated you feel to do the things that build financial stability. So color is one lever, not the only lever, but a real one. And it works best when it's paired with good layout, decent lighting, and a reasonably clutter-free environment. Keep that in mind as we go through each room. Let's start with the home office, or any space where you actually do financially productive work. This is the room where color decisions matter most directly if we're talking about wealth, because this is where the work happens. And the most common mistake I see, and I mean this is genuinely very common, is workspaces that are either completely neutral and visually dead, or cluttered to the point of visual chaos. Both extremes drain you, just in different ways. Too sterile, and you don't feel creative or engaged. Too chaotic, and your brain is constantly processing background noise and can't settle into focus. In Feng Shui, green is the primary wealth color for workspaces, and there's a practical reason for it. Green sits in the middle of the visible color spectrum, which means your eyes process it with less strain than the extremes. It's associated with growth and balance, and it keeps you in a calm, alert state, engaged but not wired. You don't need to paint the whole room green. One wall as an accent works. Better yet, a combination of a green accent wall plus actual plants does double duty. Color psychology benefit plus the real measurable air quality improvement that living plants provide. Better air means better concentration. That's not mystical. That's just oxygen. The second color that works well in workspaces is a deep, warm blue. Not a cold steel blue, but something with a little depth to it, like a teal or a navy with warmth in it. Blue has a well-documented connection to focused, analytical thinking. It slows your mind down from the scattered surface-level processing that happens when you're stressed, and helps you go deeper. Furniture placement note here, and this ties everything together. If your desk faces a wall, you're working against yourself regardless of what color the wall is. Facing a wall puts you in a psychologically compressed position. Whenever possible, position your desk to face into the room or diagonally, with the door in your peripheral vision. The color on the wall in front of you matters less when that wall isn't the first thing hemming you in. The entrance. Possibly the most underestimated space in Feng Shui, especially when it comes to wealth energy. Here's the thing about your entrance that most people don't think about. It's the first thing you see when you come home. and the last thing you see when you leave. That means it sets your mental state twice a day, every day. What you see when you walk in after work tells your nervous system whether it's safe to decompress or whether the stress continues. What you see on your way out in the morning sets a tone for the entire day. Most entrances are neglected, shoes everywhere, bags dumped by the door. Maybe some mail that's been sitting there for 2 weeks, and the colors are usually just whatever was there when someone moved in, beige, off-white, or nothing at all. In Feng Shui, the entrance benefits enormously from confident, welcoming color. Deep red is the classic recommendation, and honestly it holds up. Not a bright fire engine red, but a rich, warm burgundy or oxblood. It signals vitality, confidence, and presence. It tells your brain when you walk in, this is a place with energy. This is a home, not just a space you're passing through. If red doesn't fit your aesthetic, warm golds, deep terracotta, or even a rich forest green work well. The gold is a color that makes you feel something positive in those first few seconds. And if you can't paint, an entry rug in rich tones, a lamp with warm light, a piece of art with confident color, these carry more weight than people realize. Clutter at the entrance, no matter what color surrounds it, cancels out everything else. So deal with the shoes and the bags first, then work on color. Living room. This is your main gathering and relaxation space. And in terms of wealth mindset, it's about cultivating a feeling of abundance, that your life is full and good, rather than directly productive wealth energy. That distinction matters because the color approach is different here. In a workspace, you want focus and clarity. In the living room, you want richness and comfort. Colors that work: warm gold, deep olive green, cognac, burnt orange as an accent, terracotta. These are colors that feel full and alive. They make a room look considered and well lived in the best sense. Like someone with taste and intention put this together. What tends to undermine living rooms from a wealth perspective is when the space looks like nobody committed to it. All gray with nothing to warm it up. All very light and washed out in a way that reads as empty rather than peaceful. Abundance in your environment, even in a modest home, comes from commitment to the space, choosing colors that mean something and using them with some confidence. One thing I always tell people: lighting changes everything. A warm gold color on a wall under cool white LED light looks almost greenish and flat. Under a warm 2700K bulb, it looks rich and intentional. So before you decide a color isn't working, check your light temperature. That alone might be the whole issue. Airflow is connected here too. A stagnant living room with closed windows and thick curtains blocking light will feel heavy regardless of color. Fresh air and natural light are the foundation. Color builds on top of that foundation. The bedroom. And I want to be clear about the bedroom's role in the wealth conversation. The bedroom does not produce wealth directly. What it does is produce the rest, recovery, and mental clarity that make everything else possible. Bad sleep is one of the most reliable predictors of poor decision-making. And poor decisions, financially and otherwise, are expensive. So the goal of bedroom colors in Feng Shui is to support deep rest, not stimulation, not energy, not vitality. Rest. Colors that accomplish this: soft sage green, warm blush, muted clay, dusty blue, warm ivory. These are desaturated, calm, and quiet. They tell your nervous system that it's okay to switch off. What disrupts bedroom rest from a color perspective? Bright reds, sharp yellows, anything very saturated or high contrast. These keep your visual system more engaged than you need it to be at night. People sometimes feel restless in their bedroom without knowing why, and sometimes It genuinely comes down to the fact that the room is visually too active. The practical fix here doesn't require repainting. Switch out bedding first. That's the dominant color field in most bedrooms. Soft, muted, warm tones. Remove anything from the room that feels like work or obligation. Even the visual presence of a laptop or a pile of work papers activates a mental state that conflicts with rest. The bedroom should look like a room that has one purpose: kitchen and dining area. In Feng Shui, this space represents nourishment and abundance, whether there is enough. And interestingly, color here affects real behavior in measurable ways. Warm yellows and soft whites create a space that feels welcoming and nourishing. They make the kitchen somewhere you actually want to spend time, which means you cook more, which means you spend less on food outside the home. That's a real concrete financial effect. Burnt orange and warm terracotta work well in dining areas, specifically because they encourage people to slow down at the table, to actually be present during meals rather than rushing through them. That slower, more conscious relationship with consumption extends subtly into how you consume financially too. Cool, clinical kitchen colors, stark white without warmth, cold gray, harsh lighting, tend to make the kitchen feel like a place you pass through. You don't linger, you don't cook, you order in. And over time, that habit has a cost. One small thing that ties kitchen color and layout together. If your kitchen feels cluttered on the countertops, even great color choices won't land. Clear the counters down to just what you use daily. A warm yellow wall behind 3 things instead of 15 looks intentional. The same wall behind a pile of accumulated stuff just looks like a yellow pile. Quick summary before we close. Home office, green for wealth and growth, paired with a furniture position where you can see the room. Entrance, rich, warm, confident colors, and clear the clutter first. Living room, full, warm tones that feel abundant rather than empty, and check your light temperature. Bedroom, muted, calming colors that support rest and recovery. Kitchen and dining, warm yellows and earthy tones that make the space somewhere you want to be. And tying through all of it, lighting, airflow, and keeping clutter from canceling out whatever color work you do. The color is the finish, not the foundation. Here's the thing about color in Feng Shui that I keep coming back to. It's not that a particular shade is magic. It's that your environment is always communicating something to your nervous system. Color is one of the loudest things in that conversation, and most people have never consciously decided what they want their space to say. When you make that decision, when you choose colors with intention and understand why you're choosing them, you're taking a real step toward a home that supports you rather than drains you. And a home that supports you is one of the most underrated assets you can have. Start with one room. Try one change. Notice how the space feels different to be in. If you found this useful, leave a comment with which room you're starting with. I read everyone. Subscribe if you want more practical Feng Shui guidance without the fluff. And share this with someone who's been thinking about refreshing their space but doesn't know where to begin. See you in the next video.